and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And I've angled ourselves a little bit different today. I'm still in the same chair, but I wanted to get the sunshine in and these flowers, which I've just changed the water for, and the water stank. Happy bank holiday weekend to all of those that are in the UK. I'm enjoying my bank holiday weekend. We are today going for a lovely walk, and then we're going to go for lunch, which is also lovely. And then tonight, what do you think we're going to do tonight, David? What do you feel?
Yeah, just chilling.
What do you feel? Just chilling. That's what we're doing. How is everybody else enjoying their bank holiday weekend? How are you enjoying your weekend if it's not a bank holiday weekend for you? Today I'm going to be doing my May wrap-up. So it is the 28th of May today. Can't see May, but I promise it is the 28th of May, which is a little bit earlier for a wrap-up, but it's my 3-year booktube anniversary. Happy anniversary! On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a video then about my 3 years on booktube, so I thought I would do my wrap up today. So in the month of May I read, this is always something that I should have planned but I never do, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books in the month of May, which is pretty good, and I'm on 11th now. I've got 2 more on the go and an audiobook. So I will start by the first book that I finished in the month of May, and that is The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman, part of his Dark Materials. I listened to the audiobook of this, which I absolutely adored. It's so great. It's so... it's narrated by Philip Pullman himself, but it's like a radio play almost. So I might have gone on about this when I listened to Northern Lights, but they have different voices doing different characters, and it just flows so beautifully. I absolutely look forward to listening to it every day. His Dark Materials is an amazing trilogy. It's one of my faves. I'm currently listening to The Amber Spyglass. I wanted to get them all done in time for the Book of Dust to come out in October, but I think I'm going to be like probably a little bit ahead of time actually, because I'm going to have the Amber Spyglass finished like soon. I've got like 8 hours left. And then I'm going to have to wait like this, until October rolls around. So that was the first book that I finished in the month of May. Then I read Shtum by Jem Lester. This is a book about, I read this for my book club at work, and everyone in the book club really, really enjoyed it. It is about a chap. I could hear a child screaming outside in the sunshine, just having the time of their lives. It is about a chap whose son has severe autism, and him and his wife undergo what he believes to be a separation in order to get their son into a residential school to get the care that he needs. And he has to move in with his father. So it's 3 generations of men. The young son, Jonah. Is it Jonah? I believe it is. Jonah, who can't speak, and then Jonah's father and his father, who haven't really ever had a very good relationship. And yeah, it opened my eyes to the nature of the care system in terms of children who have autism and things, and learning difficulties, etc. Really tough read in some places, but also really light-hearted and really well done. I gave it 3 stars. I did enjoy it. It's super, super quick read. If you're looking for like a quick read, then I would definitely recommend this. It's also got things in it like multimedia aspects in terms of, oh my God, David's got the brightest yellow t-shirt I've ever seen. He looks like a wonderful sunshine baby bear. You coming to show?
Come to show.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Get your head in. Don't just show your torso. I gave it 3 stars and really enjoyed it. That's that. The next book that I read was my first 5-star book of the month, which I absolutely loved. Honestly, best short story collection I've ever read. It's The Birds by Daphne du Maurier. I have done a full review on this and I will link that down below. But basically, I loved it. I loved the title story. I loved all the other stories. I've got this, I've never had this with a short story collection where I've been able to look through the index. The index, is it called the index? Contents, and look at the short story titles and be able to tell you exactly and remember exactly what happened. They all stayed with me so amazingly. I loved it. But I will link my full review down below, but 5 stars, amazingness. The next book is a little short number. It's called Dear Ijeawele, A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is a letter that Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has written to one of her friend's daughters on why she should, to her friend on how she should raise her daughter to be a feminist. It's very similar in obviously in style because it's the same author, to We Should All Be Feminists, and also that short sort of bite size, take it all in 60 pages. I really love this. These are things that I come back to and reread every so often, and also underneath it, look at this bloody amazing orange. But really, really love this. I gave this 5 stars too. The next book I read was Grief is a Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. This is a poetry collection. I'm not really au fait with reading poetry. I feel like even when I'm trying to discuss this with you now, I feel like a bit of a fraud. Because this was unlike anything I've ever read before. I haven't read, what's the book it leads on for? Oh, The Crow, by Ted Hughes. And I sort of come to this. I tell you where I got this. I went to Libraria. It's a bookshop on Brick Lane in London, and there were some booktubers there. Jen, Lauren, Lena, Sana and Jean were there, and they were all saying, oh, you should read this because, and Lauren said to me, oh, you should read this. So I bought it and I really loved it and found it really interesting. It is about a mother who has died, and a father and his 2 sons are trying to come to terms with this, and a crow sort of embodies their grief and misery, and each is a poem from either the boy's point of view, the dad's point of view, or the crow's point of view. And there's parts of it which are really mad. And I was like, this is... do I know what's going on? No. Am I still enjoying it? Yes. So it's strange and enjoyable, but enjoyable is a strange word to use because it is all about grief and coming to terms with death. But yeah, I think I gave it 3.5 stars. I feel like maybe if I would read Crow, and I would, if I do get around to reading Crow, I will come back to this. And yeah, it was a strange thing, but I really enjoyed it. The next book I read was a short story collection, and that is Foreign Soil by Maxine Beneba Clark. So Mercedes got me this for my birthday last year. It's a set of realist short stories told by an Australian author. Oh, my sister's here. You better go and let him in, David. No urgency. Told by an Australian author, and there's quite a lot in here about immigration and sort of people living in countries that they're not born in and things like that. Some of them are really super long, like almost novella length, and I really, really love them. The first story, David, was particularly heart-wrenching and really... got me. And yeah, I really loved it. There was a really great one in here as well about a transgender person, which I feel like that's spoiling it because you don't sort of find out until halfway through that the person's transgender. But it's still really enjoyable. So that's that. I'm going to stop there while my sister turns up, because the next book I've got to talk about, oh God, I dropped them all, is The Post-Birthday World by Lionel Shriver. And she's here now, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, they've gone. We got rid of them. The good thing was they brought round mini milk, so I've just had a mini milk, which was lovely. So the next book I read was The Post-Birthday World by Lionel Shriver. I adored this. This was amazing. First Lionel Shriver I've ever read, and everyone keeps saying, you must read, we need to talk about Kevin, you must read it. And Mercedes had told me about this, and I got it out from the library, so apologies for the shiny cover. I loved it. So it is about a woman who, her and her husband every year go for dinner with one of their friends who is a famous snooker player. And one year her husband can't make it. So Irina goes along to have dinner with Ramsey on her own, and in one version of the story she ends up kissing him at the end of the night, and in the other version she doesn't. And then from then on the chapters split, so you have 2 chapter 2s, 2 chapter 3s, 2 chapter 4s, and each one follows what would happen if that happened, if she kissed him or if she didn't. I loved it. I've never seen Sliding Doors, so everyone I was saying this is what it's about, they were like, oh, that sounds like Sliding Doors. It was so amazing what stayed the same and what was really different, and what was familiar, what was similar to her lifestyle, even if she was with like a different guy or in a different country or something like that. I really loved it. What I will say is that there was a hell of a lot of snooker stuff in here, but that didn't stop my enjoyment of it. I really, really loved it, and actually made me want to watch snooker. When's there some snooker on telly, David?
I don't know.
It just it sounded like the snooker bits I found very tranquil. And
the Crucible.
Yeah, let's go to the Crucible. It's set in the Crucible. There's lots in here in the Crucible. I then looked into a bit of Lionel Shriver and her books, and also because I want to read all of her books eventually, and what should go to next. And one of the things that she said was that she makes characters which are hard to love, and I can totally see that in here, because none of these characters are particularly nice, or you don't think, oh, what a lovely, like all of them have faults, all of them have human faults, all of them are dislikable in some ways. So I just really loved it. It's perfectly crafted, amazing characters, brilliant plot line. I was gripped from beginning to end. It's really small font the whole way through as well, so it's a big old book. I think it's just over 400 pages long, and it's really small font. I loved this. I gave it 5 stars. Really loved it. I got it up from the library, but I'm going to buy myself a copy of it just because I enjoyed it so much. And where should I go to next with Lionel Shriver? Where do you think? So the next book I read wasn't such a success, unfortunately. It was Kate Atkinson's Emotionally Weird, and this was due to be a buddy read with Mercedes and Simon. However, Mercedes gave up quite quickly. She wasn't into it at all, and Simon, I don't think, has finished it either. So Emotionally Weird, Kate Atkinson, I really loved Life After Life and Behind the Scenes at the Museum. And I came to this thinking, oh, this will be interesting, because it's confusing in that it's a mother and daughter talking to one another, and the daughter's telling her mother about a time she was at university, and within that time she's at university, she's writing a novel, and she's in a creative writing class with a group of other people who are writing novels. So you'll find there's lots of different fonts in here which stand for like different parts of the story. So so here, your normal sort of font there is her talking to her mother about when she was at university. No, this is the university bit, and then this is like her novel. So there's loads and loads of stuff going on in there. And it, for me, too many characters. I really love Kate Atkinson's writing style, and it made me want to reread Life After Life in order for me to read A God in Ruins, which I still haven't read yet. But there was just too many characters. I didn't know who was who by the end, and also I just didn't care so much. So I was a bit disappointed with this. I ended up giving it 2 stars. But however, I do love Kate Atkinson, and I am looking forward to rereading Life After Life and getting to A God in Ruins. But yeah, unfortunately, this wasn't for me. And then the last book I read of the month was another 5-star book, wonderful 5-star books, is The Gender Games by Juno Dawson, which I believe has just come out now. I love books on gender, and off the back of reading Girls Will Be Girls by Emma O'Toole earlier this year, and there's quite a bit of it in Laura Bates's books as well. I picked this up in any amount of books before it was even out, so I think it's only just coming out now, and I love this. So Juno Dawson is a transgender woman. She was born a man, and she's transitioning into being a woman now. So she has an amazing perspective on gender, having been a man and is now a woman. So she's got a really great humour in this that I just loved. So I believe that Juno and I must be of the same age, because there's lots of references in there to things that I absolutely loved. So Spice Girls I mentioned loads. Well, that's a 5 out of 5 before we've even read what else is going in there. Buffy the Vampire Slayer's mentioned, and just current things that are happening in terms of like Instagram celebrities, and it's just, it's so well researched and so important in here, the things about gender, whether you be a male or a female. And then on top of that, it's hilarious, fucking hilarious. Like, she is as funny as fuck. And it's got great references and loads of stuff in there about the Spice Girls. So I really love this. I gave it 5 stars. I'm going to be really urging people to read this in the way that I was urging people to read Girls Will Be Girls. Just imagine two books that I've read this year, non-fiction, that I've absolutely adored, both of them about gender. Amazing. Really loved it, and really love these leggings. Keep going on about those leggings. I really love them. So great book to finish the month on. I'm currently reading The Cows by Dawn O'Porter. I'm not very far through this at all. This is I'm 48 pages through. It's quite a big guy, and this is a novel about 3 women who come together, and we haven't got them together yet, but that's what I can see happening. So yeah, that was a great month. So my favourite book, God, it was really hard, because it really is a toss-up between, let's have a look, which is quite good because they're all different. So my favourite book of the month was either Daphne du Maurier, The Birds, The Post-Birthday World by Lionel Shriver, or The Gender Games by Juno Dawson. So I've got a short story collection, non-fiction, and a literary fiction. So I believe I can have all of those as my favourites. So those were all the books that I read in May. Would be lovingly interested in hearing what books you read in the month of May also. We're off for a walk now and out for some lunch, which will be lovely. And I will see you all again on Wednesday for my 3-year BookTube anniversary birthday. Happy birthday anniversary to me on Wednesday. Bye!